Greetings and welcome to episode 10 of the Arcade Raiders podcast. This is what happens when you give a group of content creators a microphone and an audience. I am Jeremy, and with me as always to deliver the shenanigans is my good friend Jesse. How are you, sir?
Dude, it's been a freaking week. I am just so ready to just pass out this tonight and just go to bed. How are you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing really well. I've had a really busy week, did some traveling for business, just making my way through games, on the side. Yesterday I actually made a list of games that I have played this year, just to kind of get a total of everything I've been doing. And I realized I have played and beaten over 24 games since the beginning of the year.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, that's a lot. I'm tackling that backlog and going through a bunch of the new games. I got a lot of game codes that I've kind of been doing, so I'm going through that backlog, and I'm even thinking about starting a new game this weekend, actually, in Earthbound, because I've never played that before.
Ooh, okay, that game is pretty damn fun.
Yeah, it's one of those classic RPGs that everybody always says I should play, and I'm not a real RPG lover unless I truly play it, and I have it for the Super NES Classic, so I thought I'd give it a try. So I'm pretty excited about it.
I mean, it's a good dabble. Definitely a play. I haven't beaten it. It's just it gets so weird at a point because there's so much it's very weird. It's a very weird game. Someone said.
I'm really excited. I've heard nothing but good things about this game, and everybody always says it's one of those RPGs that's near perfection, I guess, and so I don't know. I'm just kind of excited to play it, and kind of excited to see it and see what it's like. So yeah, did you catch any of the PlayStation State of Play this week?
I kind of read some articles about it, but I didn't really watch it because I was doing my own thing. I'm sucked in the Borderlands hole again, so oh, that game.
Yeah, games. It's pretty fun. I can only take it in doses though. I get really bored with it. But yeah, but State of the Play, PlayStation State of Play, some really good stuff. Bunch of VR announcements. I don't know how you are into VR, but with a bunch of VR games coming out this week, and the whole Oculus Quest announcements and stuff like that. It's been pretty neat. Plus, we also got to see a preview of The Last of Us 2, and I maybe have lost my mind a few times while I was watching it. So, preview of The Last of Us 2. Have you ever played The Last of Us?
No, I watched a long play of it, and I don't know. I stopped getting the whole survival zombie thing for a while. It does look fun. It does look great. It sounds like the whole game has that beautiful everything to it.
Yes.
But for me, I just was like, I don't got a PS3. I'll play it later when I get PS4. And now it's like, I don't even want to get PS4 now. I'll wait till I get PS5.
Well, just to let you know, it is free for the PlayStation Plus people here pretty soon. So.
I'll get it once on PS5.
I'll wait. I'm excited about the game. That's probably the game I'm looking forward to most over Cyberpunk. So and I've already, last week they had a private showing with The Last of Us. Naughty Dog invited a bunch of folks down there and had a private showing of the game where they got to play a couple hours of the game, and everybody that's played it says it will probably hands down be the game of the year next year. So that really excites me because The Last of Us is my number one favorite game of all times. To me, it was a near perfect game. So, yeah. Well, yeah, anyway, so we've had a busy week. Folks, we wanted to remind you a few things. So, first of all, thank you so much for listening to Arcade Raiders podcast. We'd really appreciate it. We are getting better, I feel, every day, and we're learning a bunch of things, and we're adding some things here pretty soon. So, just to let you know, next week we'll be taking a week off. And we'll be resuming here in a couple weeks. We're going to refine the podcast a little bit and, do a few new things and kind of tweak some things a little bit and see, it's kind of evaluate. So we're going to use this time to kind of give ourselves some feedback and some time to evaluate ourselves and kind of see the direction of the podcast. But don't forget, you can always find the Arcade Raiders podcast on pretty much all of your favorite podcast outlets, including Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and of course, Google Play. So if you like us, if you've heard this before and you kind of like what's going on, or you like me or Jesse, which is cool, or if you hang out in the Arcade Raiders community or whatever, subscribe for us or like, or push that little button. That does help out more than anything, more than any more than anything else to us. It means the world to us. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you would. We totally love you guys. And we've had a good time doing this. I know I have.
Dude, it's been kind of a trip so far. I came on 10 episodes. Like, every week, it's like, what are we doing this week? I don't know.
It is. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of work finding stories and coming up with, topics and, discussing topics and hashing it out. So we like doing this.
I think it's kind of like a little kind of peek behind the scenes. Like, every week, we kind of like, we got a script set up. We read the news, just got to raise the questions. And then we just kind of like spend the rest of the week in editing.
Yeah.
And then we get out to you on Monday. So that's a little behind the scenes look like what goes on.
Yeah.
And most like, hey, who's gonna be on the podcast this week? Well, just me and you, Jeremy. That's pretty much. That's totally fine. I'm about that.
I think we have a good thing going, man, and I'm glad that we get to spend this time. I know you've said that this is kind of a good way to end out your work week. To round out your work week doing a podcast on a Friday night. So, thanks again, folks, for listening to us and being part of our journey. And we got plenty more to come. Lots of good stuff to come. So definitely hang tight. Stick with us. I promise. So just to begin this episode, every week we like to look at the news going on in the game world, and no different this week. So it's time for some Arcade Raiders news with Jessee.
Welcome to Arcade Raiders, guys. Let's take a look at the news this week. First of all, we got actual AR news. Hey, we haven't done this in a while. Hey, there's a survey this week. Fill that survey out. Let us know what you like about the podcast. It kind of helps us structure the podcast. We can kind of like see what you like, what you don't like. If it's 10, we understand. So yeah, take that survey. It should be posted somewhere in here. Look in the descriptions. And that will actually help us out to structure the podcast further on in the road. But let's get into our actual news this week. Okay, let's be clear about one thing here. We only got one Earth. One Earth. One planet we need to keep. If you want more games, you want more enjoyment, keep the planet safe and clean. That being said, the video game industry is trying to fight climate change. Sony is committing to lowering the power consumption in next-gen consoles, well, at least in suspended mode. Sony Interactive CEO Jim Ryan announced the next generation of PlayStations will include possibility to spend gameplay with a much lower power consumption, which if you read the article, it's like a 0.5 watt, which is a lot, which is a freaking lot, because let's face it, in suspended mode, it's hardly a lot of power. Sony's not the only one on this path. There's a new group. All right, a new group. We got a little acronym, this one. The Playing for the Planet Alliance. Doesn't roll with tongue. But with 21 other companies, including Microsoft and Ubisoft, of course, we can just call it a Planet at this point. And I hope that Microsoft is not Heart. It's probably EA. Okay. So it'll be nice to see what they do to reduce our current footprint in the future. Now, I'm actually kind of excited about this because I'm, like, every week, like, me and my wife, like, we need to go green as much as we can. Like, I stream, so that has a lot of power. This is actually pretty good, especially for someone with, like, a bunch of consoles like me that are always plugged in.
Yeah.
Because I, like, my wife tends to keep them on at night because when she watches Netflix, she kind of, like, leaves it on. I'm like, no, turn it off. Reduce the carbon footprint, save the planet.
That sounds like my son and his Amazon, Fire Stick. It's the other day it was on, and I went to kind of touch the side of the TV and I accidentally touched the Fire Stick, and I thought my finger was gonna burn off. It was so hot.
That's why it's called a Fire Stick.
Yeah, I guess there you go. That's it right there. I guess it is called the Fire Stick for a reason.
But it's kind of nice to see like gamers are actually like trying to do something for our future, for our goddamn environment.
Yeah, I think so here's my take is I think this is a good thing for video game companies to start looking at, especially the ones that make the consoles. I'd like to also see a lot more PC groups do it as well. Mm-hmm. These consoles and PCs and stuff, they do consume a lot of power. I mean, you can definitely, leave your computer on for a solid month and then leave it off for a solid month, and you could definitely tell a price difference in 100. I've seen it. I've done it. I've actually got to where I turn everything off at night now. I shut down my monitors. I shut down, if I need my PC on for some reason, I'll at least put it in sleep mode. So I think this is a good place to start, especially the video game companies. My concern is people viewing it as, oh, well, look who's getting on the climate change bandwagon. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think
who's going green here, Richard. How about you plant some trees here, Richie? I agree.
I think this is a good chance. I mean, because we could reduce a lot of that consumption. With our consoles. I think that's every little bit helps. Every little bit, as long as we can reduce our carbon footprint, everything helps. But I'd also like to see them go further besides just reducing the power consumption on the console. I'd like to also see them do things about choosing carbon neutral facilities and reducing that that footprint as well. That's to me is going to be one of the bigger footprints. Manufacturing is to me one of the bigger footprints. Full disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a science teacher as well, so I have a background in science and environmental education. So I'd like to see them do more, in the production. I think one thing that's helped out with kind of that climate change with video games is the digital.
Yep, there it is.
Because now they're not producing all these, discs and things too. So that's a footprint there. But, the question is, okay, well, how does more servers and all that outweigh the cost of the environmental cost of producing, discs versus just having servers where you can download from? So I don't know that. I don't know those numbers, but I mean, it'd be interesting to find out. But hey, I'm just happy, that people are, coming in and suggesting new ways to lower the carbon footprint and really, help fight and combat climate change and help out with that, because it's a huge topic, and, politics aside, it's very, very important, no matter how you look at it. Wow, that was a science nerd rant.
I know.
Felt like you should have inserted like a Bill Nye the Science Guy there sign or something.
Well, I was going to. I was like, no, let's keep it somewhat professional here, even though I just called like everyone that the game industry Richard. They're going green. It's like I would like to see. I just want to see like more like how can I recycle my old game cards, my old like games, like in a download form. I would love that a lot more.
Oh, like if you had that's an interesting thing. Like if you bought a game and you could show proof of purchase, can you get it digitally? And yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Then are you contributing double to carbon footprint? I don't know. That'd be a lot of analysis there. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'd like to see something like that. Like, recycle my games.
I think you just also said something that caught my attention too. Is you called us professionals?
Somewhat professionals. God, I mean. Listen, okay. I may make all these damn jokes, but I think as somewhat professionals, we've been doing it for 10 episodes. At this point, we're professional. We're professional at this point, okay? Let's be clear with that. It's 10 episodes, we're not professionals.
I'm a people person, damn it.
I do things, god damn it. Professional. God. I'm a freaking joke. What am I talking about?
No, man. I think we do a good job.
We're doing great. Let's go on to our lovely next story. Okay, where's my giant wheel at? We gotta blame a company this week. Let's see. Oh, look, it's Activision. Oh, yay. So, as we said before, the State of Play came out Tuesday. And we know Sony and Call of Duty have a kind of connection now with exclusivity rights. And that means every time that new content drops for Call of Duty, it comes to PS4 first. Well, PS4 player promised a day one advantage, but I think sort of along the lines that Activision forgot what a day was. So there's going to be a new mode in the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare Spec Ops Survival mode. I don't know what it's called. Probably it's called that. Spec Ops Survival. That in I think
SOS
3. Yeah. That in 3. Yeah. And it's going to be exclusive for the PS4. But for how long? 1 year. That's right. If you look carefully at the teaser trailer, you'll see a little asterisk with fine print that appeared to State of Play showcase that said, timed exclusive content until October 1st, 2020. Now, let's kind of look at the time frame here a little bit. So 1 year later, October, I'm not thinking of Modern Warfare. No. I'm thinking of the new Call of Duty at that time.
Yeah.
Like most things, this took to the internet. Well, if you're a fan of the show, you know that the internet acted. Infantry Ward narrative director Tyler Korosaki took to Twitter and said the following. Let's be honest. Ruining is an extravagation. Survival is 1% of the game, and the other 99% is a simulation day and data across all platforms. I'd rather have everyone playing 99% of the content at the same time than 100% of the content sometime later. Okay, so, I kind of see where he's coming from here, but still, it's like one mode. Like, you're not going to be able to try that on an Xbox. You're not. So you're going to get all pissed off. And I agree. And I was reading some of the people on, like, the article, and they're pretty much saying, like, on Twitter, like, I'm a PS4 playing, even I'm pissed off. But when you say time content, you gotta think like, hey, this is like kind of way too long. Even for like this, like a year, 1 year about. I get bored of the game in like 3 months.
Yeah, especially Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think the time frame is a little different than what we've seen. A lot of times it's just been like a month or a couple months, or even like 3 or 4 months.
2 weeks,
but
yeah.
You really don't see it a year a lot. I think it's definitely a shift in how we're going to see things done. I see it as like it's very similar to me, it's these background deals that are being made between companies. Like if you look like NFL teams, one team wears Nike, one team wears Reebok, or maybe not NFL, but what other sports ball team or whatever. One team wears Reebok, one team wears Nike. If there's not a complete, shift. So these exclusivity deals happen all the time. The one thing that really kind of, I guess, grinded my gears a little bit was the way people are reacting and yelling at Infinity Ward and what it's Infinity Ward, right?
Yep.
Yeah. What people don't know is Infinity Ward didn't make that decision. That was an Activision decision. And,
it was.
People are getting pissed off at the Infinity Ward developers and stuff. And I'm like, they didn't have anything to do with that. That's definitely an Activision thing. It's like, there were people making threats to the developers and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, internet guys, calm down. Please.
Like I said, we knew it would react.
It's exactly how they react is people just go, oh my God, and it's like, come on, take it down a notch. First of all, realize it's Activision that made this decision, not Infinity Ward, because Activision pays the bills, And so I thought that was kind of crummy how people reacted. Is it kind of bad for one console not to be able to get it? Yeah, that really sucks. It kind of does suck. Yeah. I do agree. But I mean, I think we're seeing a shift, and I think we're going to see a lot more of these exclusivity deals in the background, which, that kind of does suck. And, Taylor, he did say, it's just 1%, which I think he actually got scolded for saying that. Because you get the and this somebody else was talking about this, that 1%, there's a group of jackasses that are going to go, well, that's not 1%, and really analyze it, and it's
to be fair here, that's not 1%. See,
that's
like 12.35%.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what the other group I heard talking about this was. So I was like, that's a fair point. So I think he kind of got a little chastised for saying 1% without knowing how much of the game it actually was. But for a year, that does seem like a long time. Like I said, we've seen it for a couple months, but a year does seem like a long time. And like you just said it, the next Call of Duty is going to be coming out at that next time. So are people going to be interested in this? Probably not.
I would say unless you're a diehard, like a super diehard, and you don't got a PS4, you're going to be like, I need to get this on. I need a PS4 right now. Yeah.
And let's be honest, people are still playing freaking Modern Warfare 2. Aren't those servers still up and running?
I think they are.
Yeah, so I mean, people are playing this game, going to play this game for a long time. I think we kind of maybe underestimate that, but the whole year-long thing sucks. A lot of us have our favorite console we play on, and so, or a lot of us have consoles. I've bought Rainbow Six for 2 different consoles. I've got Black Ops 4 on, 3 different platforms that I play with people. So, it does kind of stink for those consumers that are hoping to see that content. But at the end of the day, I mean, is it really enough? Is it really enough content to really make you get that upset about? I don't think so.
I think it's be a one-off mode. Like I'm not that worried about it at all. Like I'm not like, oh my god, like this is gonna like be the one thing said. Like no, it's a horror mode. It's zombies. Pretty much.
It
you just want zombies.
Yeah,
that's all you want.
Yeah, it's a survival mode. It's not. How are you people not bored of these things by now? That was my question. Was like, man, if we're complaining about having enough of that by now, what are we doing? Just go play another game and deal with it, man. Don't buy it. Sorry, that's just my opinion.
No, you're totally fucking right. Sorry, cousin, but you're totally right. It's just people to get that horror mode that are not on PS4. Heck, even go back and play like Black Ops 4 just for zombies. You're still getting that same experience.
Yeah.
If you're really desperate for your Spec Ops, get Modern Warfare 3. It's still on there.
Yeah. Yeah, just deal with it. That's my professional opinion. You'll get over it.
Yeah, you'll stop caring when, like, I don't know, Battlefield or Call of Duty gets announced next year. You'll stop caring. Like once, I don't know, the first leak comes out probably in March, you will stop giving a shit.
Yep, pretty much.
Well, screw Modern Warfare. I want this new one. Yep. And our last story of the week, guys. Hey, are you low on money? Do you want to get a new game? How much blood you got? Well, Bandai Namco is hold a unique and good thing so you can get a new game for some blood at TwitchCon this year. But to help American Red Cross, a blood drive will happen right at TwitchCon where you can give your blood. That's right. Give your blood and get something in return. And no, not just a cookie and some orange juice, even though it does sound pretty good right now. I'm kind of hungry. But you can get a fresh code for a copy of Code Vein because vampire game, blood, So I like these kind of things now where it's kind of encourage people to, give their, what they have to someone that needs it. And you're getting something a little more. Like, I will not do it because I'm definitely afraid of needles.
Yeah.
But everyone else go for it. Like, I'm not going to do it. Like, you guys can do all your blood you want if you're at TwitchCon and get your copy of Code Vein. I hope that game's good. I don't know. I hear it's pretty solid.
I think it's actually genius. This is a genius idea. I mean,
it is.
You do a blood drive, and just on a side note, I read an article the other day of how the American Red Cross is actually really, really, really running low on blood supplies across the nation. And there's a few specific blood types that they're kind of running short on. I think this is a fantastic idea, especially Bandai Namco, doing their kind of charity, at TwitchCon. I think that's awesome. It works because it's Code Vein, like you said, blood and stuff like that. So I think it's a genius marketing thing. I think it's super neat. Plus, it benefits a lot of other things too. I think, it benefits showing, the good nature of video gamers and how, we're willing not just to get a free game, but, giving blood is no easy thing. Like you said, there are a lot of people definitely scared of needles. I'm not the biggest on needles, but, being a science guy, I understand, how good that stuff can be, and
I will faint right here by seeing needle. Like, I'm just like, even thinking of it going inside my skin to
really?
Or get a shot, like I will faint. Like,
dude, I watched them do it.
You sicko!
Yeah, I like watch them do. Like, I used to be kind of nervous around it, but now that I'm older and I went through all my, it was basically like a pre-med major through college. So looking at all that stuff, it really doesn't bother me much anymore. I remember when my wife had her C-section, my son removed, I actually got to watch the surgery. It was fantastic. It was so cool.
Oh, you're one of those people that love to watch surgery videos. Like, ooh, they're taking out the spleen. Oh.
Yeah, I was that. So I don't know if you remember this. I know this is a total tangent, but do you remember back in the 90s when all of those surgery shows were real popular? Oh, dude, I would stay up till like 2:00 in the morning watching those shows. Anyway,
what is wrong with you?
It's so fascinating, and the human body is such a disgusting animal organism too. It's so cool. Anyway, so I think it's a great idea. I think Bandai Namco is awesome for doing this. I think the American Red Cross is awesome for doing this. I think it's going to show video gamers, show people that video gamers are awesome folks, even though it is a free game. It is giving blood, which is, it's not an easy feat sometimes. And for TwitchCon to host it, I think that's another huge perk on that end. So win all around on this. I think this is a great idea.
It is.
Yeah.
Do it if you have to. Like, I'm not going to touch it because unless you want to see a 6'8" guy go down like a sack of potatoes, no. You don't want to see that.
If I was there, I'd do it.
If I was there, I better ask you to catch me because, sir, you fainted. Do I still get my game?
Pass out, get a free game. I don't think it works that way, Jesse.
Listen, Jeremy. Okay, I want to pass out and get a free game here. I want to say try to help out, but I passed out and only gave a little squirt of blood. I'll be help out one small little ant. There we are, little ant. Take my blood. Anyway, time for the game releases for the week of September 30th. Kind of a short list this week, guys. We got Destiny 2 Shadowkeep DLC coming for PS4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC. This time on Steam. Neocab on PC. And Ghost Recon Breakpoint for PS4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC. Kind of a really short list this week.
We need a break. We need all gamers right now need a week off because I'm trying to catch up. I've got one more game to catch up on, and then I will be pretty caught up, and that's Borderlands 3.
Oh, trust me, I'm in that same boat too. Where it's like, well, we'll get on that part later. But yeah, like
none of these interest me though. None of these interest me at all.
I would be like, oh my god, Destiny 2, but I grind so much of Destiny 2 last year where I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I grind my ass off. I was playing a game like when I got home, I was doing all the Iron Banner stuff, and it just felt like it was a second job at that point.
Yeah, plus you got Borderlands 3 right now, so.
Well, Borderlands 3 is better. I'm so sorry I said,
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's the new hotness, right?
Oh, dude, it's that new hotness, and I love my new hotness. Plus, you're right. There's that huge backlog now we got those big releases last week, and next week is going to be even more.
Yeah, October's big too.
Yeah. But hey, if none of those games interest you, how about some free stuff? Because who doesn't love free? That's right, guys. At the Epic Store till the October 3rd, you can get everything. The game, not just everything. You can't just get everything. But you get everything, the game, and Metro 2033 Redux. If you have Xbox Games with Gold, you get Disney's Bolt, and Timo, the Badass Elephant. I just love saying that name, the Badass Elephant. And if you got PlayStation Plus, you get Batman Arkham Knight and Darksiders 3. So I just love saying Timo, the Badass Elephant.
That is kind of funny. Like, I've never heard of that game at all, but it just sounds kind of funny.
Timo, the Badass Elephant. But yeah, like it's free games. Pick them up if you want to. And Metro is pretty like decent. That's my hair. Arkham Knight, we talked about that last week, so I'll put that up. But I think that's the short of it. Like, yeah, this games week. Enjoy them, pick them up, and prepare for next week. And that's going to do it for news this week, guys. We'll be back in 2 weeks with more of this. Take care.
Okay, this is a segment of the show in which we take a letter or note from a gamer out there and discuss their question or topic. Well, we sometimes discuss it and sometimes get off on a tangent. But anyway, let's continue. So this question came through us from electronic mail. I think that's the fancy term kids are using nowadays. From a gamer named iStream2. It says, Dearest Arcade Raiders, the shows have been great and I can't wait to hear more from you all. You mentioned you are both streamers and content creators. What exactly do you two do and how does that relate to video games? Also, how do you feel streamers affect the video game landscape and world? What are you doing to contribute to the positive impact video games have on folks? Live long and prosper. I like that.
Nerd.
Hey, you be quiet over there.
Yes, big dung and prosper. Yes.
So yeah, we're both content creators. Jessee streams on Mix as a partner streamer on Mixer, and I am an affiliate affiliate streamer on Twitch. I used to be streamed directly to Mixer, but I decided to move over to Twitch. So we're both content creators. We both post stuff on our YouTube channels. So we've kind of been in that. We've been doing it for several years. I know Jessee has a different journey than I have a different journey. But so both of us, yeah, that's kind of what we do. So using this segment to kind of discuss, promote platforms and whatnot. That's beside the point. But that's what we do to relate to video games. I know for me, my streaming has been really impactful on myself, is that it's got a chance for me to kind of open up and learn a bunch of skills that I normally wouldn't have had. It's also gotten me a chance to meet some fantastic people and contribute and share my passion with those like-minded individuals. And that's really important to me. It's become really important to be able to talk with people, and it is 100% a huge form of entertainment. And I think just getting to know with people and getting to hang out with people virtually is huge. And it relates to video games in a sense that we get to share our passions and get to share our what we like, what we don't like. It's become so much more than that. Jessee and I have met so many people streaming, and we have these people that we meet up with yearly, or we when they travel to our states, we visit them, or like for Jessee, lives near people that we know and we've met through streaming. So it's a huge thing to us. So for me, that's kind of how I relate to all that. So I feel streamers definitely affect the video game landscape 100%. I think that streaming has created this whole thing we never really thought of is, hey, how do we get people to influence the sales of games, or lack thereof, and I think streaming has greatly contributed to how games are played. I know Jessee could probably attest this too. I'll play a game and I get, it never fails every night, tons of people come in, hey, how is this game? How do you like it? And I don't take that lightly. I typically will give my genuine opinion on, gameplay, music, story, characters, how combat is, or how the gunplay is, if it's an FPS, so I will definitely use that. But I think we greatly affect video game landscape. Wouldn't you think, Jessee?
I say we do. Pretty much go the whole thing you're talking about here, Jeremy. When people come to my stream, they're like, "Hey, how's the game?" I get my brutally honest opinion, because you have to wear many hats as a streamer. You do. You gotta be the guy that plays the game, that kind of can review the game, that can judge the game based on other games well. Mm-hmm. So you're pretty much doing that. You're also trying to figure out okay, do you like it overall? How would you rate this game? It's really hard to rate games. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate rating games. I was yeah, it's a good game. I hate ratings. I do.
Yeah.
It's either a play it or don't play it for me.
Yeah.
Or if it's free, pick it up.
Yeah, I try not to rate games too. I try to kind of stop and think. I'm not going to rate this game, but if I had to buy it all, I kind of use the whole idea. If I had to buy this game all over again, would I buy it all over again?
Yes.
And or I rate it by saying, would I play a second or even a third playthrough of this game? That is kind of how I like to rate games and tell my subscribers and my viewers of how I view the game. Or how do you rate the game? Well, I would definitely play this game 3 times. That should tell you how much I like this game or how good this game is.
Now, for me, I pretty much go all okay, would I pay what they're asking for right now? oh, they're like saying like Borderlands 3 is $60. Will I pay for that? I'm like, yeah, I'll pay for that. That's good. That's a good
Hmm.
price. Like,
Yeah.
will I get like my time and enjoyment of this game? Like, that's where I kind of like rate my game. That's where I kind of judge my games from, because I try to play a game as long as I can and I'm having fun with it. So I'm going up miles per hour a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes total sense. That's a great way to rate
Yeah.
games. You know, I
No,
always
but
feel if I can get 15 hours of gameplay out of a game, I think for me that's a good game. You know.
yeah, like for me, I try to go. I definitely try to go miles per gallons out of a freaking game.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what it is.
No, that's great. That's a great way to rate things. So,
Like, well,
go ahead.
like will I 100% the game? Like, do I feel like I want to? Like that's why I always kind of like tell people like I don't really recommend Kingdom Hearts 3 that much. I really feel like yeah, I didn't really enjoy my time in it. I just kind of beat it for the story.
Yeah.
I would not pay $60 for it. I'll
Wait
pay
for the
$40
remake.
for it. But yeah.
Yeah. So even right here, what we just said, you gave a quick review on Kingdom Hearts. I gave my opinion on how we rate things. So yeah, so I think the past 5 years, streamer, or actually more than that, probably 7 years, since Justin TV and stuff like that,
Mhm.
YouTube and Twitch and Mixer and Facebook gaming and D Live and that's influence that these companies are getting that just shifts the landscape. I mean, all it takes is one huge or two huge streamers to dump on a game, and you are losing money. A company is losing
Yeah.
money. So, how do they? I'm sure they've had to come up with creative ways to combat that. To say, wait a minute, if Burger has 30,000 people watching him right now, and he's playing this really cool AAA title, and just basically says this sucks, and then installs it in front of everybody else. Well, people are lemmings, people are lemmings
Yeah.
and followers without trying something on their own. They are huge lemmings and followers. And I caught myself doing that a few times. Like, oh man, so-and-so says this is a bad game. But you know what? I want to be the judge of that. I want to check it out myself and let me, is it something that's not for me? And let me be the judge of that. But no, I think streamers and content creators have influenced the purchase and sales of games greatly, I think.
We have definitely a look at our good buddy in our news, Ninja. Oh boy. Now go back to when he was playing Fortnite. Then he switched for a stream to Realm Royale,
Yeah.
and he was playing it. That got a big jump at first, because all of a sudden you have Ninja playing your game.
Yeah. The hotness.
He went back and played after a content drop, and he's like, "Yeah, this game sucks now."
Mm.
So that's where we're at.
Well,
We
he's going to influence a whole new generation of playing Halo. I guarantee it.
Oh, he is.
I mean, I feel that's one of the reasons. His background is playing Halo. Competitively.
He was pro Halo. Yeah.
He was pro in Halo, and I think Microsoft's going to leverage that, and he is completely going to influence the sales of Halo. I mean, it's not going to be by much, but thousands. It could potentially be thousands. And that's money. So streamers greatly affect the video game landscape, especially sales. So the last thing here that this person asked is, what are you doing to contribute to the positive impact video games have on folks? So what do you do, Jesse? Is there anything you do specifically, what you talk about, or anything that contributes positively to us video gamers and the environment?
Like I do a lot of things up. A little background too. Like for me, I have Asperger's. I do. And it kind of makes me have social interactions really hard. So with streaming, kind of like go on and talk a little more and be on this podcast a lot more. Like I thought like this never happened to me because I was so socially awkward. Like I learned to talk to people a lot more, and I got a lot of people that are like, "Hey, I have Asperger's too. Like, how'd you go over this? How'd you go over that?" Like like we got a little support network of like fellow like Aspies that like know like, hey, like, are you okay? Like, can you help? Like, and we'll kind of talk each other down, like, is that something's happening, or like, be there for each other.
Yeah.
I went through like a very traumatic thing recently with my wife a while ago, and they were there for me too. And they, for supporting me. So it's more of like a huge support network overall of your community with like everyone. As for gamers, we kind of like view that as something big too. There's an article recently about it was about a family that lost their son and he was disabled. And they all felt like he didn't had no social life. He had no social life at all. He then they then found out that he was playing World of Warcraft a lot. And he had this huge like a huge community of friends and like loves and shit like that. So it's kind of nice to see that even though a lot of us are in separate locations, are in separate places in the world, we still got each other's back. We still feel, and we can be there for one another when time happens. So gaming is pretty much, as streamers too, is that place you go hang out. Is that place that you call home. Is that place that you feel like, okay, it's Friday night, time to do this thing, let's hang out here. And that's what it was like for me, as like for everyone else. Like when I stream, that is like when I say, hey, let's chill out, let's hang out. I don't put on a show. I'm always like, let's have some fun today. Let's kind of joke around. And I usually talk about like what's going on in my life or some of that, like yeah, like we're kind of stuck this week, blah blah blah, and everyone kind of top their week, and we'll kind of just have a nice little chill session, kind of like bullshit. Maybe watch a YouTube video, And for me, it's just it helps with mental health a lot more. It helps with anything, And when you think like life's just like is at its end, it's there for you,
Yeah, and I think that's you're definitely not the first person I've heard talk about streaming in a positive way like that. There's a lot of us that are socially awkward or anxious, or nervous or struggle with a lot of things, and honestly, streaming has been really good all around. I think it's a good way to relieve stress and promote, like you said, promote a place just for you to come hang out. People, you talked about, people just hanging out, and streamers, we always talk about, what are some of your goals or whatever. And a lot of our goals are always to build community. And, it's awesome to have a ton of subscribers, but what's even cooler is having a positive place for people to hang out. Like you said, it's really cool. Us growing up, we didn't have this stuff. We didn't have the ability to watch streamers and interact the way we did. A lot of us was through text. Like AOL Instant Messenger. It was through text. But to be able
it was for school. It was for like like wandering around,
communicate through like Discord and that's why I was like hanging out with the Arcade Raiders, because sometimes we're like, hey, we're bullshitting around, why don't you come hang out with us, or we'll just talk, or one of us is streaming, but like Tim, for example, say, hey, I'm streaming, why don't y'all just come and chat and everybody will talk, and so we'll go in and we'll talk. I mean, we let the streamer stream, but it's really cool to have a positive place for people to hang out and be themselves. And I think that's one thing that a lot of times this world is missing, is positive places for you to go and just be yourself and hang out, and with those normal, I say word normal, with people that are your normal, and I think that's awesome. But I think that's one huge thing is, streamers, the positive impact streamers provide, like you said, is just a place, just a place to talk, just a place to say hi. I've received, an email from a person that was like, hey, thank you for saying hi to me today. I'm like, dude, you're most welcome. Nobody has said hi to you today. That's the first thing I do to my son when he gets up, is I greet him, and I fix him breakfast, and I want him to know that he's loved, and, but it just breaks my heart that there's a lot of folks out there that are missing that slight, that's that one thing that every human needs, that interaction. So you folks are always welcome in our chats. 100%.
Yep.
Always welcome. Bring it, man, because some of the pains that you have, we've experienced those, or people in our community are experiencing those as well, and it's always good to have somebody to talk to. So from iStream 2, that's why we do it, and that's the influence we have. whether we like it or not, whether it becomes stressful or not, that's the influence we have on
Man,
folks.
shit got deep right there. Shit got really deep.
Hey, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I would rather us give our honest opinions and show people how much we love them than, you know, be a random podcast that just dumps on everybody. You know, that sucks.
It's like I dump on things, but it's like, I got a heart too. Like I'll talk shit up here, Manu, but I'll be like, you know what, this is what's going on in my life. You know.
And I will say too, man, I am defensive of my followers, my community, and my subscribers. Like I am defensive about, you know, when I've been in the unfortunate predicaments where another streamer I knew was talking about one of the members of my community, and I was like, listen here, you know, sir, you are not going to talk about them like that. You know, and that, you know, so I'm very, very protective. I'm like a dad, you know, I'm very protective of the people I hang out with, and I would, you know, gladly fly, you know, to wherever you live and help you out if you needed it, you know. So
yeah.
Anyway, I stream too. Thank you so much for that question. That was great. Again, if you have a question at any point and you want to send us an email, you know, or you know where to find us on our streams, our Discords, please send us a question. We'll turn it into the mailbag and we will answer your question on our show. And that does it for the mailbag this week. All right, here we go. Each week, we also spend time discussing the new or old video games we are currently playing, or what Jesse and I like to call, what is tickling our funny bits. Jesse, what's tickling your funny bits this week?
Well, this week I started with a lesser-known game that came out, I was on alpha for like 6 years, which is called Cube World. That's right. Now, little news backstory of Cube World. It was released, it came out one guy and his wife, just like a certain game we're talking about a while ago, Ooblets, and they got DDoS. And this guy went into hiding. He was ruined. Then he came back. He's like, you know what? I'm releasing the beta for this game, or releasing it next week. So I was in the beta, the closed beta. And it was nice to go back and play that game. He definitely adds so much stuff to it. It's like, now Cube World is more like, what if Minecraft more of an RPG, except minus the whole, like, taking up resources all the time. So you just hunt down, like, random creatures and getting pets and, like, becoming, like, a better, like, warrior, a better mage. It's not for everyone, but I kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of nice to play again. I might hop back to it later on when the full release happens on the 27th. So it will be. Oh, by the way, that game's coming on the 27th. So there's news that week. Hey, game release. And, well, I've been playing the hell of Borderlands 3. This has like been 4 hours since I played Borderlands last, and I've been enjoying the story so far. I think it's pretty good. I've been enjoying the Beastmaster so much.
Oh, Flag, yes.
Oh, Flag is just so great. Especially, I'm running this fire-like tree. His old like red tree where it's all like, oh, you get racks as well, so you can like throw racks at people while your beast hunt down people. And it's like, oh, they heal me? Oh, I can summon like more than 6 at once? Okay, go rack. And all of a sudden you see the racks like fly down like it's goddamn like like they're doing a buy mission. All of a sudden it's like, oh, they tore through a guy really fast. Nice. Yeah. And yeah, I'm trying to like 100% as much as I can in the game because I'm one of those guys that like to can go around on the audio logs and like get all the secret loot. And I guess that's my life's been. It's this Borderlands 3. I did download a new mobile game, which I'm excited to download too, or not. I am playing Mario Kart Tour, which I mean, which was online multiplayer. I wish I had that.
Are you paying the $5 a month for that?
Hell no, I'm not paying $5. I'm a cheap bastard.
I was like, holy crap, dude! That's like you could buy a whole Mario Kart game for the cost.
I'm not going to spend $5 a month for that.
Okay, good.
Like, who do you think I am?
I was like, well, I mean, we're Moneybags, you know, streamers, partner streamers, so you know.
Yeah, but also I'm a cheap bastard. I weigh the cost of it. I debate my thing based on like, hey, is this worth my money? And yeah, it's okay. It's kind of like, oh, I'm finding a few bucks at it, but I'm gonna spend $5 a freaking month on it because Screw that noise.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I can get Game
agree.
Pass that.
Yeah.
As well as they finally dropped Smite Blitz, which is another auto chess kind of thing that I'm kind of excited to try out, see how one plays out compared to Team Fight and regular auto chess and Dota on our Lords. So that's what's tickling my funny bits. Jeremy, what is tickling your funny bits?
Borderlands 3, I've been playing through a little bit of that. I'm kind of stuck.
Uh,
I haven't really progressed too much. I tried streaming it, and man, I had to reduce a lot of the quality, and it really frustrated me.
same,
So I
same.
think, and I have a really nice PC too. My video card's good, not great.
No, it's also me too. Like I had to reduce my quality as well.
Yeah, but when I reduce my quality, as you can tell on stream, it just looks bad. I mean, it was even causing, and even my PC wasn't even taxed out. It was just the quality was just not good when I was trying to do everything at once.
Was it all
So
choppy?
yeah, it was very choppy. So I think
Same, yeah.
I think I'm gonna kind of just keep that to a personal game and just play with my friends. I beat Link's Awakening last weekend.
Nice.
I think I beat that game in about 14 hours. That's all I played last weekend. We had to go to town for a couple days, so that's all I played was that. So Link's Awakening definitely. I will admit I had to look up a strategy guide at a few points because I didn't have a clue what the hell to do next. So that was a rather challenge, but I mean it's a very close remake of the 1993 version, man. It's really good. The art style was just absolutely gorgeous. The colors in it, the music was really good. There's definitely some Mario universe crossover. I don't want to spoil too much, but some of the characters that are in some of the Mario lore and even some of the Nintendo lore in this game. So not as like playable characters, but more as like, hey, these are enemies or things you got to dodge. But as far as being a really close remaster, it's almost word for word. I think they added a level that was only in the DX version of Link's Awakening, so they did add a level there. But other than that, I think the game is pretty damn near flawless. I know a lot of people are complaining about noticing kind of some frame loss when they hit specific parts and when things change up. I didn't notice it too much. Again, I was also playing most of it in mobile mode with my Switch off the dock. So I don't know. I thought it was fantastic. It's definitely worth the price. Even though I beat it in like 14 or 15 hours, I think $60 is still a good price for it. It's just a great game. I also hit I think I'm 28 hours into Greedfall now. It is so far my game of the year. Greedfall is fantastic. I'm loving every second of it. There's so much cool just storyline and plot, and now I'm picking up the plot because I've actually completed a lot of the side quests. But I've actually over-leveled by doing all the side quests. So it's cool because, these quests take you through these particular maps, and on these maps are typically a handful of quests. Not a lot of quests. They're typically like some, message board quests, a couple, and then there's always going to be like a little side quest thing to do. So what I've been doing is I've been doing those and clearing the maps. So I'm finding that when I go back to do the actual story that's part of that zone, I've killed everything and I've exposed the whole map, so I automatically know where everything is. So it's pretty nice, and I've actually out-leveled the game, I think, so far. So it's gonna be very nice just to complete the game. And this weekend I'm gonna push the storyline and try to push the end. I think I'm probably doing about another 10 hours or so. And then the last thing I've been doing, yes, I've been traveling a lot this week, so I've been kind of busy with video games. I signed up for Apple Arcade.
Okay,
And
how is that?
people were bashing it pretty hardcore. I am not a mobile game player. I played Hearthstone on mobile because I was so into Hearthstone, but I would play that on mobile and PC. I would play, I play Pokemon Go. I play Harry Potter Wizards Unite. So those are typically, and I only play those games when I'm like walking around somewhere and, we're walking in like a shopping center or something like that. I don't really play mobile games hardcore, but I've found more and more lately that I'm going places where I can't really take my Switch in, especially if I'm at work or something like that. Not that I play games at work, but, if I'm going to like a work trip or something where I'm sitting around a lot and, I need to be entertained. So far, Sayonara Wild Hearts is freaking wild. It is a really cool game. It's very colorful. I also downloaded Cat Quest 2, and my son got excited because the Shantae, I think one of the Shantae games are on there. Is it Shantae? Is that it?
Yeah, Shantae was on there.
Yeah. So $5 a month. If you play just one of those games a month, I think it's worth it. So far, and I want to see what they do to add to it. But another thing too is you can get the first month for free. So if you sign up today, you get 1 month for free, and then it's $5 after that. So I'm gonna keep it for a few months just to kind of do some research. I'm gonna do the free month, and I'm gonna do another month just to kind of research and see if I'll keep it. But so I've been playing a ton, and this weekend I'm gonna finish Greedfall. I will finish Greedfall.
Oh yes, you will.
Because I want to do a review on that game. I know it's 2 weeks too late, but yeah.
Full review, casual playthrough.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah.
And plus, you don't really see that much in reviews because they're all rushed out.
Yeah.
It's like
So
I need
do
a power
reviews
game.
now. I do after I've played 4 to 5 hours of the game, I do what I call a quick take, which I will answer some quick questions and kind of give my initial impressions of the game, and then I also do a full blown 10-minute review of the game, showing some gameplay and talking about the characters and the plot and the story without being too spoilery. And that does it with what's tickling our funny bits this week. All right, this is the portion of the show in which we sell out and inform you amazing folks where you can find us across the internets. Jesse, go ahead and sell it out.
Okay, you can come find me at mixer.com/tapper, where you can come see me play games. Probably for Borderlands 3 this weekend. Might hop into Gears 5 later on. We'll see what happens. You can come follow me on Twitter and Instagram. That's at Tapper on both those sites. I'll start posting more pictures of what I do in my free time, which is pretty much I do Gundam stuff as well as I'm on Twitter randomly you're talking shit about games or randomly going man, work sucked. And you can come join my Discord, discord.gg/theburgernation, where you can come join our meme channel, talk crap about whatever we talk about. And also, hang out there. Jeremy, where can I find you at?
Yeah, so you can find me streaming several times a week on Twitch at twitch.tv/MrSkyrobi. That's MrSkyrobi. You can also find me on social media platforms at Mr. Skyrobi. That's Twitter and Instagram. Here lately, I've been posting my daily walk break and just kind of discussing my day to folks and just, dropping a positive vibe, to maybe help some folks out along the way. So again, you can find me anywhere at Mr. Skyrobi, streaming and general shenanigans and general information. And that does it for our time this week. Just a reminder, we'll be taking next week off, but we will return here in 2 weeks with some great new things. And, of course, the same weird ramblings that you guys are used to. And that does it for our week. Remember, our goal here at the Arcade Raiders podcast is to deliver our unique perspective into the video gaming world with random musings and discussions. Until we meet again, enjoy playing those games.